Hello beautiful people, welcome to Weaves of Waves. I've just come back from the healing event weekend. I just went for the afternoon, and well, a little bit in the morning and the afternoon, just for a couple of hours, and just wandered around. It's really strange to be back into that environment. Yeah, I used to do all the New Age festivals, the big ones in London and then around South Africa ones, and I used to be a reader, and tarot and crystal ball. Actually, there was no crystal ball. There was only tarot. They were selling plenty of crystal balls. No one was reading it. I miss that. I must admit, I do miss it. It was a great way of meeting and chatting to people. And it got me the usual frustrations, because I've always been looking for a reader that does what I do. And I sat down and I got my tarot cards read, I think. It was awfully confusing, and I couldn't hear her because she had a big perspex screen over her because of restrictions and stuff. And I get it, and it's fine, but I couldn't hear it, and it was like, and the frustration is so, I don't know, palatable. She told me I should have let go of my anger, and I'm like, I'm not angry, I'm frustrated that I can't hear you. And, oh dear, I don't know. I was listening to some of the healers, watching some of the healers, and some of them are very beautiful people, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing them. A lot of them work for peanuts, and they do it because it's a driven thing, it's a calling, and I honour that. I totally honour that. It's good stuff. But there's an awful lot of them. Yeah, you get chatting to them. What sort of healing? Oh yes, it's the chakras from China. And I'm like, I'm a Chinese acupuncturist. I do Chinese acupuncture. I got a degree in it. China doesn't actually use the chakra system. I think you mean the Indian one. Yeah, definitely. So it's like, you're going to do your homework? Yeah, it removes all your negative energy. And I'm like, fine. And what happens if you need that energy, negative energy? You know, it's actually quite sort of necessary for you. You know, it's good for you to have that in your life. Whoopsie, pushing. You see, I tend to overwhelm him, and I know when I had my tarot cards reading, she goes, because I was intense. I wanted to hear her for a start, and I was like pushing, and I could see she had talent. Don't get me wrong, she could channel, right? I could feel a gathering. Now, she wants to call them angels and spirits, and I don't care what you call them. You're a channel, you're open, you can give me the message. I see you, you're real. You don't have to prove that stuff to me. I can see that you are a real reader. We have to go around all the houses to make sure that she understands I'm a real reader. Yes, she's a real reader. And it's like, so I'm aware of the wave of frustration that comes from me, and it pushes on people, and it just shuts her down. So it was my mistake. Yeah, I take full responsibility for my own energy at all times, and yeah, I have to be careful for these little delicate readers. And she's 72, so she's an old girly, fragile girly, and she is a real thing. Don't get me, she can open up and she can give you messages. But yeah, I get that I have to unbunch my anger and fear and frustration and my emotions. I have to unbunch them and let them flow. But the thing is, anybody in my way will get taken away by this. And I am too intense. I am too much. Yeah, it's like they can't take the full me. They say, be yourself. Or, not like that. Don't be yourself like that. Back off. Back off. I often thought that I would like to open a stall up. I would be interested in letting people deal with their intensities. So deal with your anger, deal with your fear, frustration, because I could do it. And also how to be a vampire healer. Vampire healers are so necessary in this world. You just feed off the pain. Everybody can do it. I mean, it's forget Reiki and all that. Reiki channeling, yes, but just absorb the pain and let it go through you and past you and out the other side, and you get revitalized because you're a healer and you've healed them, and they get their pain removed. It's not actually a hard technique to teach or learn, but I don't know. It requires some consistency and some dedication to set up, and Yeah, I'm not sure. I've done other things that have fallen flat on their faces, so I'm not sure on that one. But the tarot is great. I love the tarot cards. There's so many different packs and decks. It just would be nice just to move away from angels and fairies and shit. Evil fairies, they're a cool decks. They were cool decks. But yeah, I don't want to know about what God has planned for me. I am my own God, and please don't use the word God, because it kind of triggers me, and it's like, I am my own God, I have plans for me. Lean on God. No, which God? And leaning on a God is useless behaviour, because they're not going to be there all the time. They're actually quite inconsistent, and to rely on one, it's like, fuck off. No, not going to do that. You lean on yourself, you rely on yourself, and maybe certain other people in your life that you know are reliable, but the gods are a whole different kettle of fish. But we weren't going to have that discussion with my tarot reader. I just, oh, really, that's interesting, that's nice. Because I learnt a couple of times, it was like I frightened her. Yeah, she wasn't that frightened. She was experienced in it. She held her space, okay? But, yeah, I was too intense. She took her glasses off. We both took our glasses off, because there we go, glasses on. And I don't really need them when somebody's sitting there. I can't see far away. I can't see to drive, so I need them when I drive. But we both, and it was like, and she held my gaze. And that's actually quite impressive. So in other words, I was impressed. Don't get me wrong, she's not a weak chick. She's frail. But my emotions can overwhelm, especially when I'm frustrated. And it was like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I bought a drum. Whoopsie, I bought a drum. But I was looking for a nice drum, a small one. There was some heavy ones there, some beautiful. There's a guy named Crow. Of course, there's a guy named Crow, and his lady called Willow, I think. Anyway, there's always them. But they are beautiful people, and they can make the most amazing drums and flutes and. Oh, there's just, the craft level is beautiful, and I love all that. I mean, I'm a sucker for it at the best time. And the crystal stools, and yeah, I love all that too. And, all the sort of the Wiccan stuff and the New Age stuff. And you look at the people there, and I'm just as bad. But they're all like seeking. We're all seeking something. We're all seeking validation. Please let my life have some meaning. And it's like, I learned that you have to give your own life meaning. You can't go, someone else can't give you anything. You have to give it to yourself. And that's fair enough. Okay, that's fair enough. I will accept that. So, yeah, giving my life meaning. But I like to be among people. There's so many people there, and I love to have sit and chatted to. Yeah, I don't know. Community, remember the community. I still seek for community, but it's not any more permanent for anymore. I don't find it. I'm not looking for my tribe anymore. I don't believe there is a tribe of people like me, and I'm not looking to be popular or knowledgeable. I just like the vibe of it's familiar to me. It's like I grew up with it, I suppose. But no, the healing event weekend, Highbridge. It's on Facebook. That's where I was going to go with a friend, but she was busy, so I went on my own. And yeah, it seemed to be very well run, well organised. Lots of nice toilets that were nice and clean, which is always a good thing. And I think it's on all this weekend. So that was fun. That was fun. If you get a chance to go check out Crow. He makes amazing drums, absolutely amazing. They're shamanic drums. It wasn't one I wanted. I wanted a hand drum. But it's amazing stuff. And yeah, you got to try out the tarot readers. It's sometimes they can say stuff that can trigger you into a path of exploration. And yeah, they're channeling information, so they've got to get through the channel. So you've got to actually pass through the person that is channeling it, and then see how they word it. Hopefully using the cards and stuff like that. But it's a very good way of getting into touch with someone's higher self or God form. And yeah, it's a respectable thing. It depends on who's channeling and how full of shit they are. The bottom line is, yeah, there is various degrees of how full of shit they are. Anyway, I love you lots. Take care of each other, yourselves and each other. Bye now.